Welcome to my The Asshole Podcast. Let's get into it. All right. Today is another beautiful day for a podcast. We got our thread for today, and then we will get into Haunting Adeline. I believe we are on chapters 12 and 13. All right. So we're going to be getting into that today. But we have our thread today is Reddit. Why did you break up with your last ex? All right. So, for me, my girlfriend loved having sex. However, I was not always around when she was having it. Whoa. Oh, shit. Okay, damn. All right. She had sex with her professor while I was paying all the bills, including her tuition. Yo!
She belongs to the streets.
I basically paid her teacher's salary to rail my girlfriend. Edit for more backstory. We dated 2 years in undergrad. She got into a master's program out of state. We were in love, going to be married, etc. And I moved with her to support her and work putting my doctorate on hold for 2 years. Right at the end of the 2 years, right before she graduates, her phone goes off and I go to hand it to her, only to notice that she had received an email to an account I had never seen or heard of. I looked, it was from him. I kept in mind this professor would go out to bars and such with the students. I also could just tell that I didn't want him spending any more time with my girlfriend than was absolutely necessary. Those of you in relationships know what I mean. Sometimes you can just look at someone and know. So scanning the email gave me all the info I needed. She had created a private account to keep me from ever seeing any of it. Whoa. I thought for a couple of days and decided I still loved her, but I didn't know if I'd ever be able to forgive her. Bro, come on, man.
She belongs to the streets.
Jeez. I asked her to be honest with me because I already knew. She lied, and that hurt so much. As the infidelity, 1 week she went out of town and I moved out to another state. I left everything that was hers, ours, or if I could remember whose it was. I just took my stuff and left. She called when she got back, wanted to try to work it out, but I told her that I was done and that
she belongs to the streets.
Fuck out of here, bro. And that we're done. And I didn't have any interest in talking to her anymore. We met once for her to return my vacuum cleaner, which I left for her to use when she moved out. I wasn't a total dick, and I haven't seen her since, despite her moving out to the same city I did last year. Oh, she also tried to pull that I'm late and might be pregnant BS. Come on, man.
Bruh.
God damn. I'd get the DNA test done if it was mine. Do everything in the world for that child. No kid in 9 months. Don't bother me. If the kid isn't mine, good luck. Never heard another word about it. Visiting professor's wife got a copy of the emails, but I have no idea what happened there. Woo! Oh, shit. Yo, he sent the emails to the wife and was just like, hey, yo, this is what your man is doing. And he probably got her pregnant. Fuck we talking about here?
Bruh.
Come on, man. God damn. The disrespect. She said, with all due disrespect, man, that teacher got that dick. Like, God damn, man. Woo. All right. I just recently broke up with my girlfriend who I dated for almost exactly 3 years. We lived together in a 1-bedroom apartment for a year. Our relationship was very serious and we were committed to each other completely. Several months ago, she informed me out of nowhere that she would be moving to Florida from Arizona, where I still live, in May for an internship program and will return January 2014. She never discussed this at any length with me. For months, I tried to maintain our relationship and work through the initial struggle I was having with the situation, knowing that I wouldn't be able to do the long distance thing again, as we did for 4 months several years ago at the beginning of our relationship. About a month before she was due to leave back in April, There was a particular week where she was frantically paranoid of my interactions with other girls who I had recently become friends with. There was nothing going on. Why would I lie? But a mutual friend had her convinced that there was something going on. Anyway, after a night out drinking, we come home and get into a fight. I told her that when she moved across the country, I did not want to stay together. I did not want a long distance relationship. I went to sleep on the couch. I woke up the next morning to her stumbling around in the kitchen, putting pots and pans into the sink, unsuccessfully trying to tear off the paper towel, form the roll. At first, I couldn't comprehend what was going on until I realized I was mumbling nonsense, or she was mumbling nonsense to herself. Something was very wrong. I went to the bedroom. They found a big half-empty bottle of Tylenol PM. Yo. Now, if you're not familiar with amphetamine poisoning, it's a terrible way to go. You don't just die from Tylenol overdose. It poisons you and it kills you slowly over the course of a few days. Your liver fails, your kidney fails, and you're violently ill for days. If you don't begin treatment for acetaminophen poisoning within 8 hours of ingestion, your chances of surviving are slim to none. It had already been about 8 hours from the time I went to sleep, and now I rushed her to the emergency room in horror. She couldn't walk, couldn't speak. She had no idea where she was. She thought it was 1997. Oh my God. We walked into the hospital where I would spend the majority of the next 3 days. She was placed in the ICU. For the next few days, she was still completely incoherent. I sat by her side unwavering. I never left. I don't think she even knew I was there for her. Her liver was failing rapidly despite of the treatments she was giving. She couldn't even drink water without coming right back up. On the third night, the doctors told us she was ineligible for transplant, and we just simply were left to hope that somehow her liver would turn around and stop failing. I sat there next to her that night by myself, holding her hand, sobbing while she was asleep, and I was watching the girl I loved die right in front of me. Oh my God. Yo. Oh, I've never felt a sadness like that. You can only imagine. The text message I received from her the next morning will always haunt me. I think I'm dying. But this same day, her liver turned around. She started to recover. By some miracle, I was so happy, relieved. She remained in the hospital for another week or so and was moved into a inpatient psychiatric facility for several days prior to finally being released. However, over the course of the 2 weeks, the damage done to me started to set in. I knew our relationship could never be the same, especially when she was still going to move to Florida as soon as she was released. When she came home, we had a few very bittersweet last days together. She started to blame me for what she did and how this ended. At first, we mutually agreed that it would be for the best if we both just take some time to ourselves, and maybe we could try again when she came back next year. But a few days later, she started to lash out at me and attack me. She threatened my job, my security, my health and well-being, my friendships, everything she could. The girl I loved is gone forever. Yo. This man saved her life. And she had the audacity to sit there and be like, fuck you, nigga. You're the reason why I almost died, and you're the reason why this happened, and this all happened because of you, blah, blah, blah. Like, bro.
What?
That's just crazy. How you gonna sit there when this man sacrificed everything to save your life? He saved your life, and you're treating him like this? Wow, man. Damn. And he was gonna break up with you and everything, and he was just like, oh my God, she, poisoned herself. Like, he stood by her. He was crying. He was like, I was watching the love of my life die right in front of me. He saw that text message. It was like, oh my God, I could have prevented it. Like, Oh, bruh. Whoo, man. Shit. That was a big one, man. Golly. I hope the best for him and her, and damn. I could never be put in that kind of position, bro. Dang. Okay. On to the next one. She was very, very, very jealous of any girl I even glimpsed at. We even had an argument because a female classmate told a joke and I smiled. She also threatened to kill herself if I left her because several people asked. No, she didn't kill herself, and something I wrote in another comment. She made it very hard to take her threat seriously. She actually texted me that she had stabbed herself with a knife and was lying in a pool of her own blood. Wow. Woo, sheesh, man. I mean, look, like you should never take, offing yourself, lightly, but at the same time, it's like it should never be used as a bargaining chip either. You know what I mean? It's just like, why are you doing that, girl? Why are you using it as a bargaining chip like that? Like, look, if the relationship don't work out and we break up, whatever, that's what it is. That's it. It's over. It's fine. Just let it be done. Yeah, and it's super fucked up to kind of put him through that, because it's like he doesn't really deserve to be put through that, and he doesn't really deserve to be, talked to like that, you know what I mean? Because it's like, bro, you're the reason why the relationship is not going well, because you want to get jealous over every little fucking thing, It's like, dude, if he finds a joke that a girl said was funny, let it go. It is what it is. Like, I don't know, man. All I know is that the whole, offing yourself thing, I get it. You take it serious because you should, that's something you should take serious. But, oh, man. She fucked one of my friends and got pregnant. Whoa, while I was working my ass off here in Korea. Yo. Oh, my God. Yo, the comments are kind of wild. They said you should fuck one of her friends and get them pregnant to assert dominance, then pee on her while maintaining eye contact while standing on one leg to show you have balance in your life. What the fuck? Yeah. Yo, you motherfuckers in the comments are weird as hell, bro. Oh, he say, oh yeah, man, you should get your lick back. Get one of her friends pregnant. And then they were like, you should pee on her, make eye contact, stand on one leg to show you got balance in your life. Like, what? What are you guys talking about, bro? Oh my God. You guys are weird as hell, man. Oh God. Let's see. Long distance was ruining our relationship. It turned out to be a good decision. We were good friends to this day, and it's been over 2 years. We still talk almost daily. Wow. Dang. That doesn't happen very much. I know a lot of my exes, them bitches is crazy. I don't talk to them. I'm like, hey, get the fuck out of here. So, hey, good on you. I mean, I always think it's an L being friends with your exes. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think it's an L. Just because it's like, why are you friends with your ex, man? Like, what the fuck? I'm just saying, like, what benefit do you get out of being friends with your ex? Like, I'm just saying. All right, let's get into our next one. Because of his overbearing mother, he'd sometimes bring her along on dates. What the? Hold up. He bringing his mom on dates? Nigga. Oh, my God. All right. Bring her along on dates, and if we did get time to ourselves, she'd phone him all the time, sometimes up to 3 times an hour. Eventually, I lost my cool and told him he may as well freaking marry her and left. Let's see. His family were originally from Spain and arrived in 2004. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, she's just explaining some bullshit about his family and stuff like that. The main crux of it is that his mom went on dates with them, and then if they did get some time alone, she was just there all the fucking time. Like, bro, give us some space. Let us do our thing. Like, man, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, shit. Like, you know what I mean? Think about it. I'd be like, yo, mom, I'm trying to get me some booty. Like, get the fuck out of here, like, all right, man. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm a mama's boy, 100%. But my mom ain't going on dates with me. You know what I mean? Like, bro, what the fuck is this? Like, my mom's not going on dates with me. She's not contacting me every single hour on the hour about fucking how's the date going and all that. Like, no, bro, no. Like, that's just overbearing. That's too much. That is definitely overbearing. She hit the nail on the head with that one. Like, bruh, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, golly. She dumped me after 7.5 years, but begged to stay friends. What? Huh?
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
What? Why break up if you're sitting here begging to be what? Huh?
Bruh.
Like,
Bruh.
That makes no sense. All right, well, let's see what we got going on here. The quote from the night she dumped me was, "I can't imagine you not in my life, so I tried. If you were to use a number system of commitment that goes from 10 to 0, we were a 10 and she now wanted a 4. What? Okay. About 6 weeks later, she announced she was in a relationship with someone new. Nigga.
Bruh.
So you broke up with him and then you begged for a friendship because you guys were at a 10 and now you're at a 4, but you're dating someone else? It's not making sense. What the fuck? Okay. I let her know this. This was very uncomfortable and I moved the relationship from a 4 to a 1. Facts. For me, that meant the Saturday brunches and phone calls were over. We were occasionally emails only. About 6 months later, she replied to an email that she had hoped we could remain friendly, but that if this was the total level of contact between us, she wasn't comfortable. I apologized for making her uncomfortable, which you shouldn't have, dude. What the fuck? Like, why are you trying to make her feel comfortable, bro? Fuck her and her feelings. Bro, she broke up with you to go be with somebody else after 7.5 years. Why are you still in contact with this chick? Like, oh my God, you're an idiot, bro. That's a fail. Over here, I'm sorry that I made you feel uncomfortable. No, I'd have been like, fuck you and your feelings, bro. Go hug your other nigga's penis. Fuck out of here. Let's see. In short, I moved it from a 1 to a 0. Okay. So I delivered the coup de grace in the relationship. I knew her for over 2 years before we started dating. And people have asked me why I ended a 10-year relationship with no hope of return. My answer is simple. She couldn't imagine me not in her life, but she had very clearly imagined herself not in mine. Facts. She literally wanted to have this guy as like the boyfriend and all that kind of stuff. I have sex with him and stuff like that. But she still continues to get everything that she had in the relationship with you, just without the sex and the relationship and title and all that other stuff. Like, come on, bro. Come on, man.
Stop the cap.
Like, bro, you know you didn't want to be with him. You don't want to do it. Nah, man, get the fuck out of here. That is cap to the highest degree. She's over here. I want to be your friend. I want us to stay close. No, you don't. No, you don't. You still want me to be a pseudo boyfriend to you while you got a relationship. Nah, man, fuck out of here with that. That's crazy, bro. She married somebody else while we were still dating. Yo! So that she wouldn't be forced to move back with her parents after being kicked out of college. The guy she married was in the military and she did all that in secret. This was my first girlfriend though, and I really loved her, so when she finally fessed up, I was pissed, and I understood her reasons and believed her when she said that both her and her new husband understood that this wasn't a real marriage. Wait, yo, hold on.
What did he say?
it's not they understand that it's not a real marriage?
What?
That makes no sense. The fuck? This is for the military guy. The fuck are you marrying a chick for and it's not a real marriage? What?
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
What are you guys doing? Yo. Oh my God, bro. What in the hell? This is crazy. Oh, God. It was just a financial agreement. He gets more money. She gets a place to stay. Man.
Stop the cap.
Is she getting fucked, bro? Come on. She just need a place to stay. Come on, man. Come on. Nah, she getting fucked, bro. Come on, man. Come on, man. Y'all be letting these girls get away with this type of shit, bro. Come on now. Well, after a year of that, with me living in another city while I went to college, we finally split up because we just didn't connect like we used to, and I found out she was sleeping with her husband. Exactly! Come on, man. She just needed a place to stay.
Stop the cap.
Get the fuck out of here. I knew she was fucking that nigga. Come on, bro. And that is exactly why the connection died off and all that. Come on, man. Our breakup conversation consisted of me saying, if we were to break up right now, I don't think I'd be that upset. Her, yeah, me either. Well, I guess that's that. Then we continued to talk for another 15 minutes, and that was the end of our relationship. Yes, he said, too long, didn't read. I'm not a smart man. Facts, bro. You are a dumb motherfucker. The moment I found out she was married, I'd have been like, ooh, okay, I'm gone. Peace out. And she's like, no. It's just a financial thing, and he gets more money, and I get a place to stay. I'd have been like, well, that's great for you, but goodbye. What the fuck you talking about? You get a place to stay. You ain't gonna live with this nigga and not fuck him. Come on, bro. Let's keep this hundo P. Man. You old lying ass motherfucker. Jesus. My last ex broke up with me because she was falling in love with me. Ooh, whoa. Okay. She had and / has trust issues with guys due to her father's addiction. And since there was nothing wrong in our relationship, she had trouble accepting it. We remained friends for a bit and we would hang out. I would take care of her when she was sick, stayed with her while she house sat for a friend so she wouldn't be alone in a stranger's house, and generally told her I'd wait as long as it took for her to be okay with us. Which, that's an L. Like, bro, it's like, if she doesn't want to be with you, like now, she doesn't want to be with you later on. Like, niggas out here, I will wait for you. You a whack motherfucker. That's a fail. Eventually, I got tired of being led to believe that we were getting closer, only to be rebuffed again and again. Facts. Told you. Come on, bro. She don't want to be with you now. She ain't gonna want to be with you later. It's just facts. Like, come on. She went back to college and started hooking up with her ex, whom she broke up with because he would only acknowledge their relationship when they were not out with his friends, who then immediately began treating her the same way. The next time I saw her was when I was on a date with my now wife girlfriend. She was at the same restaurant and I decided to be civil and say hello. She attempted to disappear under the table table she was seated at, and I realized that the guy she still loved had interrupted her engagement party for her former ex. Whoa. The guy who treated her like crap. Wow. Damn. So she was there at the engagement party for the girl that is getting engaged to her ex. God damn. This dumb bitch. Hey, man. Karma, brother. That karma come get you. Yeah. Hey. That karma go get you. It's gonna get you, man. Oh, shit. We're gonna do 2 more. I spent 8 years with my first love. We were married for 2. He was my entire world. I left because I had mental health issues that he refused to treat. I mean, they're not his problem. What the fuck? Mental health issues, that is your problem, baby girl. Like, he can support you and help you through it, but for the most part, that is your problem. What the fuck? How are you going to put your mental health issues on your partner? That's not healthy. It started with an injury and then a chronic pain issue. Then the major depression kicked in. He stayed in bed or hunched over his computer for days at a time. He wasn't eating. He wasn't bathing or brushing his teeth. He was threatening suicide, flying into rages, forcing me to take care of him and taking all of the pain and anger and sadness out on me. I gave him everything I had, but eventually I just ran out. He went into an inpatient facility and it didn't help. The end was long, slow train wreck. It surprised no one. I left because I loved him, because he was already dead and I was living with his ghost. I left because removing myself from the equation was the only way he might save himself. He moved in with his parents. His sense of self-preservation has kicked in. He looks healthier. He has hobbies and friends now, a new girlfriend. We're still in occasional contact. We miss each other. When it was good, it was good. He was my best friend. He still refuses mental health services, so I know I can't go back. I do regret giving my 20s to a relationship that would ultimately fail. Do I regret the darkest, loneliest, most terrifying years of my life? The agony of burning in my life to the ground? Not for a second. I loved and had love ripped away by a genetic bullet. Life is risk. I'm stronger than ever and than I ever thought possible. All love and all the pain. That's what being human is. I do it all again. And like I said, that's just not healthy. You know what I mean? To force your mental health onto your partner like that. Why? Because now what you're doing is you're putting your partner in the same mindset as you, and then nobody's getting the help that they need, and nobody's really, doing what is best for them. And you're like, he's not doing what's best for him. She's not able to do what's best for her. And then it's just draining for her, And so, I hope he's not doing that with the girl he's with now, because, that would suck. And I can guarantee you she's just like, good luck, girlfriend, because damn, he deals with a lot. So, hey, at least she got it out of there, and she didn't look at it like, it was a waste of time, or, I regret it. Nothing like that. I think she kind of just looks at it like, hey, it was something that I went through, and I loved him for him, and when it was good, it was good, and when it was bad, it was bad. And you take the good with the bad, and you take the W's, and hopefully the W's weigh more than the L's. It kind of is what it is, man. So, yeah. All right, this is our last one. There were a lot of issues. First being that I don't like weed. It really aggravates my allergies. He liked to smoke, and I didn't mind as long as it wasn't around me or in my apartment. I ended up having a staph infection, and I didn't know what it was until it was about the size of a golf ball on my hip. And I was getting extremely ill. Instead of waiting for my doctor's appointment, I decided to go straight to the ER. I told him so, and as I was getting dressed, he left with one of his buddies to go smoke. Because of the location of the infection, I could barely walk, stumbled down the stairs, and drove myself to the ER in tears. Oh my God. Waiting for the nurse to administer the numbing shot to Lancet, I received text messages from him asking where I was, and I told him. He said, okay, no intention of coming to help me or be there for me. When everything was done, it was the most painful experience of my life, and she didn't even get anything out of it. Oh, wow. Turns out he was still at my apartment, so I told him not to be there when I got home. I was very upset, alone, and I felt very betrayed. Leaving the ER, I fell, which made everything worse. I managed to make it to the car, drove to the Walgreens and pick up meds, and then go home. This is about 1 a.m. in August in Oklahoma. Yeah, my AC went out. I took meds and collapsed. I was hospitalized for 5 days. I was not entirely coherent during my stay, but I believe it was MRSA. I don't know what that is. He never came to see me and barely talked to me during that time. Following my hospital visit and almost 2-week recovery period, he started talking to me again and became aware that his mom tried to commit suicide twice. His little brother has taken into protective custody for supposedly molesting his stepsister. Oh my God, yo. This nigga was dealing with his own shit. And he was getting kicked out of his home, losing his car, and even got his puppy taken away from him. I stuck around to make sure he wasn't drinking himself to death or doing something stupid. We reconnected a bit, but I was still very hurt. Then I started having complications around my groin area. I quickly saw the doc again, thinking the infection was returning. No, turns out the asshole gave me herpes. Yo! Oh, he wouldn't confront me like a man, and I honestly believed he knew. He still refuses to see a doctor about it, to my knowledge. Oh, shit. Oh. Yo, so they were sleeping in bed together. She has this staph infection or whatever on her hip. Asks him, hey, can you take me to the ER? He's just like, nah, just go to the fucking ER. I don't care. And then she goes and, it doesn't really do much. You know what I mean? They just give her some meds, whatever, and whatever. They do whatever they do for that. And then she's all pissed off and mad, rightfully so, because, homeboy didn't, he just was like, hey, where you at? Oh, I'm at the ER. Cool. And that was it. It's like, bro, what? No. And so she's like, oh, you better not be at my house, when I get home. So she, she did her thing, got her meds, did all her stuff. And then she went home and she was all sad and crying and stuff like that because, she's like, what the fuck? And so, then after that, she's like, yo, you know what I mean? What's going on with you? And so he's got a bunch of shit going on. His mom is trying to commit suicide. His brother is over here trying to smash the stepsis and shit. Yo, he's getting his car taken away and his dog and all this kind of stuff. He's getting kicked out of his house. So she's like, oh shit, okay, you're kind of dealing with a lot too. So it's understandable that you're dealing with a lot. I'm dealing with a lot. I get it. I'm going to stick around because I don't want you damn near drinking yourself to death and all this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Which is understandable. And so, she kind of looked at it like, all right, cool. I get it. I get what's happening. Everything's understandable. But then, she started getting some, discomfort in this area. And all of a sudden she's like, oh my God. And the doctor's like, yeah, you have genital herpes. And she's like, what? This nigga gave me fucking herpes. Yo. Man, I was like, oh my God.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Damn, bro gave you fucking herpes. That's crazy. Yo, you guys got some crazy fucking X stories, man. Jesus, that was a juicy fucking thread, man. Juicy. I hope you guys enjoyed that thread, man. I definitely did. Hopefully you guys did. Let's jump into the announcements, then we'll get into the Haunting Adeline recap, and then we'll get into our next 2 chapters. Patreon.com/MyLastSoul Podcast, $3 a month, exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send your scenario into the show. Thank you guys so much for all the support on the listening platforms. You guys are awesome. Downloading and rating the podcast and all that. It helps a lot, and I so appreciate it, okay? It does. I appreciate that. You guys come back every single Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, and you guys download the podcast. Please rate it. It helps the show a lot. If you'd like to support the show even more for free $99, go ahead and go over to YouTube. Go ahead and click the link tree, and my YouTube should be in there. Hit that subscribe button. It helps. Even if you don't watch on YouTube or anything like that, just subscribing does help a lot. All right, man. It helps a lot, and I appreciate you guys for all the support. But let's go ahead and get into the recap of Haunting Adeline. So in our previous chapters, I believe it was 10 and 11. Let me go ahead and double check that. I can actually double check to see. Yes, chapters 10 and 11. So in chapters 10 and 11, we found out that Daya helped her install a security system in her house because if you remember, She had took that one guy home, Archie or whatever his name was, or Arch. She took his ass home, and then homeboy, the stalker dude, ended up like kidnapping homeboy and killing him and whatnot. So now homeboy's a little more brazen. He's literally standing like out front her house. Like he's standing, like they could see each other in the window, and she is just like, what the fuck is going on here? You know what I mean? Homeboy is creepy as hell, but he's kind of sexy. She's just like, he's a little sexy. I ain't gonna lie to you. She's kind of like, I don't know. Like, if he wasn't so creepy, maybe, I don't know. You know what I mean? And she's kind of fighting herself on that, you know what I mean? She's just like, he's creepy as fuck, but he's really attractive. Do I want to call the cops on him? I don't know what he's capable of, so she's kind of fighting herself with all of this. And so with that, we get into let me see, what was the last part was that he had left a bunch of roses and whatnot, and she was just like, I don't feel comfortable being here. So she goes to her best friend Daya's house, and Daya actually works for a hacker group that deals with guess what? That deals with human trafficking. And what does homeboy have? He has a company that deals with human trafficking. So for me, I think that Daya works for this guy's company. And it's all interconnected like that. I don't know. We might find out in these next 2 chapters, but that's what it seems like to me. So right now, she is at Daya's house. And, she was talking about how Daya is a hero and all this kind of stuff because, she's a part of what they're doing and everything. And so she finds it admirable and stuff like that. So we will see what goes on next. But like I said, the last thing that happened was he texted her, "You didn't like my roses." So let's go ahead and get into it. Go ahead and get you guys set up here. Let's see. Let me go here.
Chapter 12.
All right, cool.
The Shadow. There's another video, Jay says through the phone, his voice solemn. I scramble up from my couch and make my way into my office. An array of computer screens line the 10-foot-long desk, and all my other illegal devices in here. Jammers, trackers, buttons that set off explosives in a number of places should someone betray me, and so on. This room alone is worth millions with all the shit I have in here. It's both my happy place and my living nightmare. This is where I make a difference in the world, where I find women and children who need saving, while also witnessing the torture those sick individuals put them through. It takes money to infiltrate high-security buildings, rescue the girls, and give them sanctuary and safety off the grid. Big corporations pay me an ungodly amount of money to hack into their rivals' systems for whatever bullshit reason, whether it be because they're competing and want to know what the other is cooking up, or because they have a lawsuit against one another and trying to find information. I don't give a fuck what their problems are with each other. It's only my concern that they get what they hired me for. In the end, someone wealthy gets fucked over, my client makes a massive profit from it, and I collect interest on it. It's dirty, but I've never been in the business of keeping my hands clean, and it allows me to dedicate my life to ending human trafficking. Where? I bark, my fingers already flying over the keyboard. Already encrypted and sent to your email. I roll my neck, cracking the muscles and gearing up for something that's going to make the steak I just ate settle in my stomach like a wrecked ship in the ocean. The video starts playing, and despite my instincts screaming at me not to, I turn up the volume so I can hear. It's a grainy video of a fucked up dark ritual rite. The person recording is breathing heavily, more than likely from the risk of being caught doing something extremely dangerous. 4 robed men stand over a stone slab with a squirming kid tied down to it. He doesn't appear any older than 18, though the grainy footage makes it hard to say for sure. Over and over, he's screaming to let him go, his voice breaking as he cries for help. I run a hand over my face when they plunge a curved knife into his chest, his blood spilling into divots carved into the stone that direct his life's force into a bucket. The men each part the top of their robes, baring their chests before dipping their fingers into the blood and painting a symbol across their flesh. I force myself to watch and endure the pain alongside the victim, because even though this soul is now gone, that doesn't mean I won't do everything in my power to find justice for him. When the video is over, I have to turn away and breathe through the urge to vomit. "Z?" I had forgotten Jay was even on the phone. "Yeah," I respond, my voice hoarse and barely there. I couldn't watch it, man. I couldn't do it." I close my eyes and breathe deeply. "That's okay," I say. "You don't need to." Jay knows how hard I take these things, but he also knows I refuse to turn away from them. That's what most people do when it comes to human trafficking. Everybody knows it exists, and most will educate themselves on how to avoid it, but they can't watch when it comes to the reality of it, can't listen, can't see the depravity, because if they don't look, then they can go back to their normal lives and live on as if there aren't thousands of people out here dying every day. Jay isn't one of those people. He's doing what he can, but he also doesn't have the stomach for it, and I can't blame him, because I don't either. And to be honest, the people who do are the ones who are trafficking them and committing the crimes. "Is it the 4 we've been tracking?" I ask. Jay sighs. "No. Mark was spotted at a restaurant last night with his wife during the timestamp of the video. Looks like different men, but these ones aren't identifiable. I imagine they only do the ritual once." I nod my head, my mind racing as I try to figure out what the fuck I'm going to do. About 6 months ago, a video leaked on the dark web of 4 men in black robes performing a ritual on a young girl. I'm not sure if it was arrogance or what, but the men kept their hoods down, unfazed with onlookers seeing exactly who they were. Even with the low-quality video and dim lighting, I was able to identify them immediately. Senators Mark Williams, Brad Foreman, Jack Baird, and Robert Walker. They surrounded the girl on a slab of cement, stabbed her, and then marked themselves with her blood. She was still alive, wriggling and screaming at the top of her lungs as the men chanted in Latin around her, crimson pouring into a bucket beneath the altar. The same exact ritual the young man just went through, still looping on my computer screen. Except in this one, the 4 men surrounding him have tall, sharp-pointed hoods drawn over their heads, concealing their identities. But what is visible is the symbol of a snake eating their tail hanging from around their necks, the Ouroboros, a symbol for certain black magic occults, and one I've seen them wear in every video. During the day, they profess their love for God on Sundays while using their religion to gain control over the vulnerable. By night, they're worshiping the devil because they know only evil will provide them the real power they so desperately seek, not God's love. I'm not sure what they collect their blood for, but I imagine it relates to some sort of blood magic. I can already feel myself slipping back into that black hole it took weeks to crawl out of 6 months ago. It put me in one of the darkest headspaces I've ever been in. I locked myself in a room and didn't come out for 26 hours after watching that first video. I was physically unable to go on living my normal day-to-day with the knowledge that this was being done to children. That helplessness grew as I explored the dark web and found thousands of videos of parents raping their own children, alongside the millions of other videos of torture, cannibalism, and even necrophilia. A lot of those videos take place in red rooms, where buyers can direct how exactly they want the victim to be tortured, raped, and killed. And those are just the ones involving children. There are millions more involving young men and women from all different ages. Those videos are what drove me to create Z 5 years ago. Since I was a kid, I had a knack for computer science, and my skills have surpassed even the top hackers in government organizations. Finding myself on the dark web and stumbling upon those videos was by accident, but it changed my fucking life. I haven't been able to sleep since then. knowing sick people pay to view hundreds of thousands of women and children being subjected to those things. Even worse, knowing that the people committing the acts do it both for their own pleasure and monetary gain. And that just as many innocent souls continue to go missing every day so they can be subjected to those same things. Since then, I made it my mission to find and kill them all. I've killed hundreds of people at this point, locating predators that I have 100% proof of their involvement in human trafficking. Now I'm going to make my way through the government, starting with the 4 politicians from the first video, and then making my way through the rest. I know exactly where they live, what they eat, where they sleep, shit, and work. But what they haven't led me to is where these rituals take place. And every day that goes by without that information, these rituals will be performed more. Did we get a hit on an IP address from who leaked the video? I asked Jay, though I already know the answer. No, they covered their tracks. Whoever leaked it knew what they were doing, Jay answers. I roll my neck again, gritting my teeth against the flaring pain radiating from the tightened muscles. More than anything, I'd love to feel my little mouse's hands working out the near-permanent knots in my neck and shoulders, but it'll be a little while before she agrees to that. All right, I'll see what I can find out with this new video, I say, before ending the call. Fuck, I need a drink, and my little mouse happens to have a bottle of my favorite whiskey in her house. A bone-chilling cold settles on the back of my neck. I hiss through my teeth and turn my head, convinced I'll find someone standing behind me. But no one is there despite the persistent cold surrounding me like dense fog. I've already experienced a few unexplainable things while perusing Parsons Manor. But whatever ghost that's floating up my ass has bad fucking timing. Back off, I mutter through gritted teeth, turning back around. Surprisingly, it does, whatever it is. And I go back to staring mindlessly into my whiskey glass. Whoever's whiskey this is, it's divine. A citrus flavor lingers on my tongue as I sip from the crystal cup. Addie's upstairs sleeping, none the wiser to me being down here, drinking her whiskey and stewing in the hornet's nest buzzing throughout my skull. 2 of my employees installed security systems throughout her house, unknowingly to keep their boss out. I basically invented these systems, so I'm more than capable of disarming them with a click of my phone. In the beginning, I just picked her locks to get in, then reverse-picked them after I left. The only predator I'll allow in her house is myself. Despite her shit locks, I'd never leave her vulnerable. I was relieved when she installed the security system, even if it was meant to keep me out. Breaking past those barriers is just another lesson to teach. Eventually, she'll learn that she can't shut me out any more than she can fuck another man. She tried to convince me of that the other day, but with one look at her cameras, I knew she was bluffing, trying to get me riled up. It almost worked until I remembered that I'm taking it slow with her. In the beginning, I tried so hard to forget her. I tried to run, but I couldn't get her out of my mind. I went home from that bookstore and attempted to talk myself down, but it seemed the more I struggled to convince the beast inside of me to leave her alone, the more it raged. And the second I started looking into her life, digging up anything I could find, the obsession only grew. She became an inoperable brain tumor that plagues every waking moment of my life. Sometimes it feels like if I tried to cut her out of me anyways, I wouldn't survive it. Taking another swallow of whiskey, I twirl a red rose between my thumb and forefinger, a drop of blood pooling from where the thorn pricked me. Ignoring them, I keep rolling the dangerous stem between my fingers, a vortex of anger and anxiety swirling in my stomach. Innocent people are being tortured at this very moment, this second, this millisecond, while I sit here and drink liquor from a crystal glass. They are being sacrificed right now, hurt, maimed, raped, killed, while sadistic fucks circle around them and mark themselves in their blood like vile little rats. My phone rests on the island, the screen lit up with the grotesque video playing on a loop. I haven't been able to stop watching it, or rather stop torturing myself. It's a small price to pay for the absolute horror this poor kid suffered from. My need to find where these rites take place digs deeper, and it's driving me fucking insane. There's nothing I can do at this moment. I've attempted to trace the source of the video, but whoever is leaking them has done their homework. No hits came through, leaving me feeling utterly fucking powerless. I may be the best, but technology has limitations. I've learned how to bend and coerce information from almost nothing, but sometimes the tracks don't exist. The numbers just aren't there. My thoughts spiral downward, like the amber liquid sliding down my throat. I roll the rose harder through my fingers, faster. The sharp thorns slice through my flesh. The small amount of pain offers me a semblance of release. Sometimes witnessing the torture these kids go through makes me want to slice open my own skin and feel the pain alongside them. I want to ease their pain by creating my own. Maybe if I'm bleeding out on an altar next to them, they won't feel so fucking alone. But I don't. The urge is unfounded, and I recognize that. I recognize that I need to be strong, not weakened from blood loss and my mental state hanging on by a fraying thread. If I'm going to save innocence and destroy the skin trade, then I need to be at my best. They need me to be strong and capable because they can't be. The video restarts. I snarl, the cries of the boy renewed, filling the otherwise silent space around me. I've studied the video closely, just like I did the last one, searching for any type of clue. But I could detect nothing significant that would lead me to where exactly these rituals are taking place. Just 4 people, dressed in black robes, surrounding a stone slab. From what I can see, the entire area is rock, emulating a cave of sorts. But I'm not stupid enough to believe these men have found some cave in a mountain to sneak off into. This is a man-made cave, somewhere deep in the underbelly of Seattle. Some place that no random civilian could accidentally stumble upon. The whole reason I moved to Seattle 6 months ago was because of this dungeon. Originally, I was born and raised in California, but when the first video leaked, I was able to get a ping from the person's IP address that revealed Seattle as the original location. They haven't made the same mistake twice. This job gives me the freedom to live wherever I want, so it took only a day to settle on moving to Washington, where I could find the hellhole and destroy it. And times like these, where I'm at my lowest, I can't help but feel like it also changed my life in the best of ways. It brought me to Addie, after all. My head drops low between my shoulders, tension threading throughout my overused muscles. The black cloud surrounding me darkens, sucking me in deeper as the video loops around again. I curl the rose, crushing it tightly in my fist. My hand trembles from the pain and the force in which I'm squeezing the flower. I continue to crush it until it's nothing but crinkled petals and a crushed stem painted in the blood pouring from my hand. I grit my teeth, just barely holding on to the sorrowful wail that threatens to leave my lips. This is the destruction from what I do. Some days it's hard to live with. Some days I can barely stand from the weight of this cruel world resting on my shoulders. But I know if I don't, my life would be worthless, and those victims would have died for nothing.
Oh man, see what I mean though? See what I mean? How it's like connecting and shit, because the Daya was the one who got the security system installed for her. Yeah. Yes. Daya does work for him. She has to. It hasn't been confirmed, but it's going in that direction. You know, it's definitely going in that direction. But man, I could see why homeboy, you know, is so able to get in the house super easily, because he's just like, oh, I can just turn it off, and then I can walk in and walk out. Like, damn. And then niggas in her basement just chilling. Like, sheesh. All right, let's get into our next chapter.
Chapter 13. The Manipulator. I just got back the first round of edits, I say to Marietta through the phone. I'm starting on them tonight. Wonderful. Let me know if you need anything, she says. I'm walking down my dimly lit hallway towards my room when a flash of movement catches my eye. I freeze, my finger just pressing the red button when I see what looks like a woman disappearing through the attic door. A smile forms on my face before I can stop it. In all the years I've been in this house, I've only seen an apparition a few times. More often I've heard voices, footsteps, doors slam, and felt the freezing drafts, but rarely anything visual. But I know what I just saw. A woman in a white dress with tight blonde curls. I didn't see her face, but there's a distinct feeling that it was Gigi. Nearly dropping my phone, rushing after her, I run down the hall and swing the attic door open. It's pitch black, leading up the stairs, and there's that nervous tickle in the back of my brain, but it doesn't stop me. I tap the flashlight on my phone and quickly make my way up the stairs. A heavy weight of foreboding presses down on my shoulders, but I trudge through it. Whoever that was, they wanted me to see something. I shiver from the feeling, both in fear and delight. The moment I step on the landing, it feels like breathing in water. The air up here is stifling and heavy, rife with negativity. It feels like something dark has consumed this space, and it doesn't like me up here. I can feel it staring at me from every angle. There's a single bulb up here somewhere with a long string attached to it. I swivel my flashlight around until I spot the string. It's swinging back and forth in an attic with no airflow and where the atmosphere feels denser than the woods outside of this manor. Rushing over, I grab the swinging string and yank on it, clicking on the light bulb. A whirring sound breaks through the silence, adding an extra note of spookiness. I squint my eyes, readying myself to see some scary monster hiding in the corner, but nothing is up here. At least, not that I can see. "Why did you lead me up here, Gigi?" I ask aloud, looking around the area and trying to figure out what I could possibly see up here. Of course, I don't receive an answer. It's never that simple. My eyes track over every dusty item cluttering the space. I have completely avoided coming up here and even opted out of renovating this space. I don't know what it was, but I felt like if I did, then something evil would be unleashed. I already have enough monsters haunting me. There's an old cracked mirror in the corner with a white sheet hanging partially over it. I make sure to avoid looking at it at all costs. I love to be scared, but I still don't have any desire to see a demon standing behind me in the mirror. Loads of dusty boxes and totes are scattered throughout the area. It's a fairly big room, so there's a lot of places to look. Stuffing my phone in my pocket, I take a deep breath, feeling like I just filled my lungs with toxic waste. And then I head over to one of the boxes and start digging. They're covered in cobwebs, and I almost consider going down to the bottom floor and finding a pair of gloves. But I don't want to stop when I'm already committed. I might convince myself not to come back up once I'm no longer sharing space with something malicious. Ignoring the spiders scattering from the boxes, I keep digging. All I find are old clothes, shoes, trinkets, and knickknacks. Nothing of importance, but maybe a few of these things could be valuable. A loud bang sounds from behind me, and this time I scream loudly. The echo of my scream rings out as I whip around and face whatever made the noise. Nothing's there but a dangling wooden board hanging on by a single nail. The entirety of the attic is made up of wooden boards, most of them rotted and chewed up by mice. Where the wooden board once was is a bottomless black hole. "You want me to stick my hand in there, don't you?" I say dryly, glancing around to see if I spot another hint of Gigi. Still not looking in that fucking mirror, though. Hand over my pounding heart, I carefully walk over to the still swinging wood. Grabbing my phone and turning on the flashlight once more, I shine the light inside the hole. It's a platform, and deep in the hole looks like 2 pieces of crinkled paper. I groan aloud. Fuck, you're really going to make me stick my hand in there? Bugs don't usually creep me out. There's not a lot of things in this world that genuinely scare me to my core, but that doesn't mean I enjoy sticking my hand in a bug-infested hole. Furthermore, I wouldn't be surprised if whatever negative energy resides up here decided to fuck with me and grab my hand. I can admit I'd probably pee a little then.
Facts.
Sighing, I plunge my hand in, snatch the papers, and rip my hand out, all in under a second. I almost open my mouth and gloat, but decide it's better not to piss anything off when we're sharing the same house. I turn, run over to the string, click off the light, and dash down the stairs like the girl from The Ring is chasing after me. Slamming the attic door shut, I take in a deep, cleansing breath of air. It's so much lighter down here. It feels like the entire house collapsed on me and I just crawled out from beneath it. I smooth out the papers, squinting my eyes to make out the neat scrawl on the first one. I did what I was told to do, because if I didn't, I know I'd be next. So this is my confession. I helped him cover up her murder. I'm so sorry. My heart quickens as I read the note over and over. Whoever wrote this, they're speaking of Gigi's murder. They must be. Who helped him cover up the murder? Who is him? Switching to the other note, it takes only a second to realize it's the page ripped out of her diary. I smile triumphantly, but the smile quickly drops as I read the messy words. I have to be quick. He said he's on his way, and I'm terrified. If I run, he'll catch me, so I'm writing this note down in hopes someone will find it. If something happens to me, John, The note ends there, not even finishing the last word. My mouth drops open in shock as I stare down at it in utter disbelief.
Oh, shit.
Are you fucking kidding me, Gigi? You leave it off there? That's what you wanted to show me? A note where you're about to say who it is, but don't? I finish my rant on a loud shout, stomping my foot and flaring my arms wide. Of course she doesn't answer me. Growling dramatically, I stomp my way into the bedroom and slam the door shut. I'm mad at her now. She better not come in here, or I'm kicking her right back out. He's outside again, watching me, a bright red cherry blaring in the moonlight. I stare back at him. The familiar tendrils of fear have me tightly in their grip, but also the bricks are settled in my stomach, sinking lower. I chew my lip, contemplating if I should confront him again or not. Picking up my phone and reporting him would be the logical thing to do, but the police won't be able to do anything. By the time they get here, he'll be gone again. And what good will a police report do when they come up missing like last time? With his apparent breaking and entering skills, not to mention hacking skills, he's obviously tampering with shit. But maybe that doesn't matter. Sheriff Walters knows I have a stalker, despite him saying they had no record of it. Maybe that's all the more reason to call. He's probably planning on murdering me right now, just like Gigi's stalker murdered her. I've read over that note and combed through her diaries for the past 3 nights, but I haven't seen any evidence of her stalker being the murderer yet. But I'm sure I'm right. Eyeing him, I pick up my phone, stand directly in front of the window, and put the phone to my ear. I haven't even dialed the police yet. I just want to see what he'll do. Because evidently there's something wrong with me. I'm playing with fire. The more I provoke him, the more likely he is to come after me. But I can't stop myself. I can't stop the sharp thrill that I get every time I push back. It's as addicting as it is stupid. I can't see his face under the deep hood, but I know he's smiling at me. Knowing that doesn't give me the reaction it should. I should be repulsed. I should be scared. I suppose I am scared, but what I'm really feeling is the urge to smile back. My phone chimes in my ear. Brow plunging, I hesitantly pull the phone away from my ear and look at the incoming message.
Unknown. Am I supposed to believe that you're on the phone with the police? I think my little mouse is a liar.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Oh, shit.
I angrily type back my message. Me. Want to find out?
Unknown. Yeah, I do, actually. I'd love to punish you later for it, too.
My thumbs freeze over the letters. The last punishment was gruesome and sickening. Me. What? You gonna send me toes next?
Unknown. Depends. Are you still pretending to fuck other guys? Or would you rather yell at the ghosts in your house again?
My head snaps up and I stare into the depths of his hood. His phone is perched in his hand, waiting for my response. The lighting from his phone is set to low, the dim glow casting enough light to show me his wickedly sharp jawline and a portion of his smirking lips. I lift my hand and flip him the bird. Fuck you, asshole. In response, his thumb starts moving, his smile growing wider.
Unknown. I plan to.
Yeah.
I growl at his audacity. Like hell he'll fuck me. Me. You come near me, I will stab you. I'm calling the police if you don't leave right now.
Unknown. So do it, little mouse.
I can't tell if he's telling me to stab him or call. I'd be happy to do both. I don't like his insinuation that I'm the mouse and he's the cat. That would mean he's hunting me. The last thing I want to be is hunted. Fuck. I hesitate. I need to call the police. I have to, but I can't convince my fingers to move. He's challenging me, and I hate that I'm scared to find out what he's going to do if I do. I hate that I want to. Heart pounding, I dial the numbers. He watches me closely as I press the call button and bring the phone to my ear. 911, what's your emergency? I breathe in deep. There's a man that's been stalking me. He broke into my house a week ago, and now he's standing outside watching me. He's standing outside right now? The operator asks. I hear typing in the background, accompanied by the smack of her gum. Yes, I whisper. Ma'am, is he doing anything? Does he have any weapons on him? She asks. Not that I know of. Can you send someone out? More typing. What's your address, ma'am? I recite the address to her. She asks a few more pointless questions and informs me a cruiser is about 5 minutes out. She asks me to stay on the phone, but I don't. I click the phone off. My little shadow isn't going to stick around long enough for the police to show up and catch him. He'll disappear off into the woods he came out of and never be found. I know this. I can't see his eyes, but I meet his gaze anyway. With one last smile, he types out a quick message. My phone buzzes, but I don't look right away. I'm too scared to. And without a concern in the fucking world, he slowly turns and walks away. The darkness reaches out and grabs a hold of him, swallowing him into its depths until he's vanished completely. When the cruiser shows up, I already want him to leave. For reasons I can't quite explain, I regret calling the police. I just want him to leave. The cop is an overweight man with short blonde hair and a ruddy face. He looks like he wants to be anywhere but here. I feel the same exact way.
What's going on here, ma'am?
He asks, huffing and puffing as he makes his way up the front porch. A man was outside my window, I say shortly.
Oh, okay.
He says, drawing out the O.
Has this happened before?
I tell him that I've made several police reports that came up missing, but that this man has been coming around and breaking into my house for the past couple of months. After telling him of the previous experiences, he pulls out his pad and starts writing out the report.
You said your name was Adeline Riley, correct?
Yes. He pauses from writing and looks at me as if he's seeing a different person.
Aren't you the one that had Archibald Talavera go missing off your porch?
He asks, looking me up and down, pausing on my chest for a second too long, as if my tits are going to give him the answer. Yes, I bite out, growing impatient. He hums in response and goes back to writing his report.
You think it was the same guy?
It'd be pretty fucked if it wasn't, I mutter. When the cop just side-eyes me, I sigh. Yes, I do. He stops writing after that and asks me a few more customary questions. Do you have a description? Do you know who he might be? And so on. I give him all the information I have except what's most important. I don't tell him about the text messages. I don't know why, but they feel private, which is fucking stupid. Makes no sense, but I can't bring myself to say anything. The police officer leaves with absolutely no helpful information. But he still leaves with a police report, and that's what's important. It's not until after I take a hot shower and settle into my bed that I read his message.
Unknown. The more you disobey me, the harder your punishment.
I'm going to find this little dick prick, Dia declares angrily, practically slamming the keys through her laptop as she types God knows what. I just finished telling her the details of last night. I take a sip of my drink. It's not enough, so I take another, and then end up chugging the whole thing. We're both doing our respective work, but she didn't want to leave me alone in the house now that my shadow is starting to interact more. Dick and prick are the same thing, I say. She looks up, her face reflecting my exact thoughts since last night. What is wrong with you? I shrug a shoulder. I'm just saying, you just called him a little dick. She rolls her eyes, ignores me, and starts typing on her laptop again. Probably hacking into something. Though I can't imagine what she could possibly be hacking into. Better not be my phone. I have nudes on there.
Oh, shit.
My face pales. Oh, God. What if he hacks into it and finds them? I scramble to pick up my phone, delete every single racy picture, and then delete them a second time from the trash folder. Some of my anxiety eases, but not all of it. He could have already hacked into it for all I know.
Facts.
I'm going to be obsessing over this for the rest of my life now. Noticing my internal crisis, Daya focuses on me, her brow pinched with concern. You okay, girl? I clear my throat. How likely is it that he can hack into my phone and find my nudes? Her lip twitches, and I'm 2 seconds away from smacking it off her face. Baby girl, that man has probably watched you get naked in your room 1,000 times now. My eyes widen further, having not considered that yet either. Oh my God. Why do you ask? Daya asks, her voice full of suspicion. I roll my lips together, debating. At this point, the only thing holding me back from telling Daya about the texts is her impending anger. Finally, building up the courage, I rush out. Would you be able to trace an unknown number? Her eyes slant. Did he text you from one? Shame creeps in. I should have told her this sooner, but I had a weird protective need to keep the text to myself, just like with the police officer. Now I realize how stupid that is when Daya is one of the best hackers in the world, or so she says, at least. I nod sheepishly and hand her the phone, the thread already pulled up. She snatches it from my hand, shooting me a heated glare, and reads through them. Her eyes draw back to my own, fire licking at her pupils. You're just now showing me these? I groan. I know, I'm a stupid bitch. I don't know, Daya. I honestly don't. Can you trace them? I don't forgive you yet. But let me see. I don't worry about her anger. Daya could get bit by a snake and immediately forgive it. She's just playing hard to get right now. What looks like frustration settles over her face. Her lips curve down, and as the seconds pass by, her frown deepens. She leans closer to the screen, still typing a mile a second. After a few minutes, she slaps her palms on the granite and leans back, obvious anger now on her face. Untraceable, is all she says. My anxiety resurfaces. So, this man can hack into my security cameras, override them, and can clearly text me from an untraceable number. Which means he probably hacked my phone and got my nudes. She looks up at me, and I already know my answer. It's possible, she says, though her tone conveys that it's probable. I drop my head to my laptop, surely pressing a bunch of keys, but I don't care right now. A creepy-ass dude potentially has my nudes. Worse, he probably has video footage of me naked. I suppose it's not the worst thing in the world to happen. My body is fabulous. But I'll definitely be mortified if they get leaked. What if he uses them as blackmail? Never thought I'd think this, but hopefully he's too obsessed with me to leak them. He's already proven to be highly possessive. If another man can't even touch my thigh without getting his hands cut off, then surely he wouldn't show the world my naked body. Did you delete them? I nod, my forehead grating against the keys. I cringe at the noise. If I don't stop, my big-ass head will ruin my laptop. I lift my head, pick up Daya's glass of vodka and pineapple juice, and start chugging. She doesn't complain. In fact, she slides over the entire bottle of vodka. Don't obsess over it. If he hasn't said anything about them yet, then there's a good chance he doesn't have them. Her words do little to make me feel better, but I appreciate the sentiment anyway. Who did you even send your nudes to? She asks, snatching the bottle of vodka from my hand after I take a hefty swig. I haven't sent a nude since I was 20. I take nudes because I like my body and want to stare at it all day.
Stop the cap.
Di laughs. I fucking love you. Sadly, she might not be the only one. Her phone lights up. Instinctively, my eyes flash towards the screen, but it's her snatching it up like the phone caught fire is what draws my attention to it. I quirk a brow, watching her glance nervously at me. You don't forgive me for keeping secrets, but yet you're doing the same thing, I state dryly. She deflates, now looking like a dog caught with the toilet paper in its mouth. I didn't want to worry you, she mumbles. About what? I bark, holding my hand out expectantly for the phone. She groans, tucking it further into her chest. Luke. He's been texting me. She starts. My eyes widen, alarm stark in my eyes. Texting you about what? Just to hook up again? Slowly, she shakes her head. He's been bugging me about you and what happened that night with Arch. I told him what you told the police, that someone pounded on the door and he went missing after that. I guess he's trying to figure out who it could have been. Fuck, I curse, dropping my head in my hands. Apparently, Max is going on a rampage, she admits on a sigh. Not only did his best friend die, but the entire family. They haven't said it, but I'm not sure they believe it was the Talavera's rivals that killed the family. I told Luke you have nothing to do with it, and I think he bought it. Words are left unsaid, so I say them for her. For now. Her lips tighten in response, and I realize that my shadow has just made me some dangerous enemies. January 14th, 1945. The cold, dreary weather is putting me in a mood that rivals the ice clinging to my windows. Frank even noticed my sour state when he stopped by today. He tried to cheer me up with bad jokes. I'll admit, I laughed at one or two, but I can't seem to muster much more than that. Ronaldo and I argued yesterday. He said he can't stand that I'm still with John. He's growing incredibly jealous. And I can't say I entirely blame him. Not when the thought of him with another woman nearly makes me blind with rage. But Ronaldo's life is still a mystery to me. He said that he refuses to involve me in his dangerous lifestyle, and I'm not even sure what that means. How could I give up stability for my daughter for a man whose life is still mysterious and dangerous? I'm at a loss.
All right. And that is chapters 12 and 13. My goodness. Oh, the plot thickens, man. Ooh. She was over here like, I take the nudes for myself.
Stop the cap.
Get the fuck out of here with that, bro. you know you be sending them nudes. You better stop. You better stop that. Oh my goodness. But yeah, man, let's keep her rolling, man. It's this book's getting good, and I hope you guys are enjoying it, coming back every single week. But yeah, that's going to go ahead and do it for me today. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate all the support you guys have been giving. Like I said, patreon.com/MyLastPodcast. Get on there, $3 a month. But yeah, other than that, that's going to be me. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Love you guys and peace.